Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about the Russian spy whale, the beluga whale named Hvaldimir. Please remember to like and subscribe. Alright, fact 1, the nickname Hvaldimir. This Russian spy whale, it's a white beluga whale, has the nickname of Hvaldimir for a reason. Hav is actually the Norwegian word of whale, and Vladimir is actually named for Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. When this whale swam into the Norwegian fjords and contacted and interacted with the Norwegian fishermen, they gave it a nickname because of the harness that it had that originally showed this came from St. Petersburg, Russia. And because little is very known about this whale, and the fact that the Russian authorities have not claimed that what the whale is doing or its purpose, all the Norwegians could do was give it a nickname. And so the nickname really means Vladimir whale in Norwegian. Vladimir, of course, again for the Russian president. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 2. Disliked his job. As I mentioned in the previous section, the whale was found with this harness attached to its body, with the buckle clearly showing that it's from St. Petersburg, Russia. And the whale must have not liked its job, whatever it was, because the whale approached the Norwegian fishermen to dislodge the harness. The whale simply couldn't handle the harness anymore, wanting to be free. And so as a result, the whale immediately swam up to fishermen and asked them for help. The whale was seen clearly by the fishermen trying to take off the harness by swimming against it and rubbing it against their vessels and also the docks. And so it is pretty obvious that no matter what the purpose of the whale was, it didn't really like his job. Its first reaction upon encountering people other than its handlers was to get rid of the harness that was attached to it. This clearly shows that the harness was actually not comfortable, and also the whale didn't like whatever it was doing. And we'll get into it in the next sections, but the whale never went back to Russia. It's free to do so, but it stayed in Norway. And so now you can see it has become a Norwegian whale, if you will, because it never returned. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. Had to learn to survive. When the whale was discovered in Norwegian sea waters, and also the fishermen quickly cut the harness off to free the whale did not immediately venture out to the wilderness or the wild waters or deep in the ocean. No, it stayed within the harbor area with the fishermen. And the reason is, it is likely that this whale has been confined in captivity for so long and used to being fed by humans that it lost all sense of survival skills in the natural Arctic Ocean. The Norwegian authorities had to teach the whale its skills in order to survive. It had to teach it how to hunt, how to forage in the oceans, and so that it cannot have dependency on the fishermen. I think it's incredible that they were able to train the whale to the point where it could start living on its own in the wilderness of the Arctic Ocean. And even though it has those skills, it still hangs around the Norwegian harbors. Alright, let's get into the next fact. Fact 4. Unofficial attraction. As I mentioned in the previous section, the Norwegian officials did not want to keep this whale, and they trained and helped it gain survival skills in the hopes that the whale returns to its Russian homeland. However, it must have not liked Russia because it never went back, and it continued hanging around the Norwegian waters and unofficially became a tourist attraction. Because it is so friendly with people, anyone that comes close to it, the whale is eager to interact with the humans. And as a result, people who visit the Norwegian harbors where this whale appears can be readily seen interacting with it. This also presented a problem because people feed it random things and also play with it in an unusual way. For example, putting stuff in his mouth, because the Hvaldimir is always opening his mouth to other people to interact with them. Because he's become more like a tourist attraction, the Norwegian officials actually put up signs to warn people not to interact or feed the whale, because most people don't know how to handle this whale and will do more harm than good. Alright, let's get into the next and final fact. Has its own non-profit organization. As I alluded to in the previous sections, the whale doesn't like Russia and doesn't want to go home. And because it has stayed in Norwegian waters and the Norwegian officials are hesitant to keep it, conservationists from around the world has actually begun donating to this whale. They're donating to a website called onewhale.org in order to help the Hvaldimir have veterinarian access and also protection in the environment. This one whale has gained so much popularity that people around the world are sponsoring whale veterinarians to visit him and make sure that he's well cared for and surviving well. The whale, because it hangs around Norwegian waters with plenty of fishermen boats, is under constant threat of propeller strikes or other human activities. And so I think it's incredible that this whale, not only has it not returned to Russia, is now becoming a tourist attraction in Norway and gain its own following with its own non-profit organization to help it continuously survive and thrive. Hopefully, this organization can keep the whale healthy and live a long life. Alright, that's it for my video today. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.